the mic, talking day and spilling life, from trending memes to wildest dreams. Girl, did you hear that crazy thing? Girl, did you hear what's going down? We're lighting up this whole damn town. Strange and trending every week. Bestie vibes that'll never peak.
In the fact that he pled guilty to kind of get out of the death penalty and also doesn't have to divulge the details.
He's just like,
is kind of shady. I don't know. Like,
and Dylan heard stuff, like heard something going on, came out of her room, like saw the guy.
Like that's where we get the description from
Yes.
the bushy eyebrows.
Yeah. Tall, slender. And then she just retreats back to her room.
Situation. I can't imagine
So she
what
goes
I would
and she
do
texts her friend instead of calling 911.
trying to figure out what the F is going
And then
on. So
Bethany
you also have to consider
is
these
still-
girls are like sorority girls. So I imagine
They're young
there's people
20s
coming in
and was just hiding in her room.
right.
But like, why didn't the dude go into the other rooms and get those two girls?
That's what makes this thing so juicy, is that there's a lot of details. There's a lot of what ifs and whys.
Hey guys, welcome to Girl Did You Hear?
The ultimate bestie hangout. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Kristen. Today is episode 51. Whoop, whoop. Very exciting. Trucking along.
Dude.
We have another crime episode planned for you guys today.
We do.
This one is from the Idaho student murder case involving, the 4 college students that were unalived, and by allegedly Brian Cobberger.
Yeah.
This case happened, it started in November 13th, 2022, at the University of Idaho. And this documentary just came out on Peacock. We're switching up our streaming platforms. We usually do Netflix. But this one came out the day after his plea changed.
Right.
Which was July 3rd.
Right.
And he changed his plea and pleaded guilty. Dun, dun, dun.
Rumor has it
Rumor
was
has
to
it.
avoid the death penalty.
Correct. That's what they
which
say.
Makes sense, right?
Yes, which we'll get to that because Idaho has an interesting outlook on the death penalty.
They do. They are, I think, the only state that does it this way.
Yes. So, what did you think? First of all, did you know about this case when it happened? Like, do you recall hearing about it or anything like that?
I do recall hearing about it.
Same.
I mean, to put it in brief synopsis, basically on the night or in the morning of November 13th, 2022, 4 students were, the best way to put it, were removed from this earth that morning in suspicion of this Brian Cobberger guy. So there were 4 people total that perished. And there were 2 more roommates in the house at the time.
Yes.
This was all happening.
Yeah, it was a group of 5 friends that all
Right.
lived there.
Right.
And the 5 of them were targeted.
So
or not targeted,
well,
but
that's the suspicion, right?
they
Because
say
everybody wants
possibly.
to know the why. Like,
Yeah.
why did he do this? That's why the families
Where's the
feel
connection?
so cheated. It's like, were you after one and then made that
all of these
look suspicious and
right.
just got the rest, or did you have a crazy itch and just kept going until your itch was scratched? Like, that's what people want to know, right? So in theory, he goes through and he, as you put it, unalives these 4 students and then disappears like off, just takes the long way home. And it's crazy because they have all of this evidence of like his DNA trace on a KBAR knife sheath and an Amazon purchase record for a KBAR. And, he drives the car that was seen in front of the scene in the
like
house.
multiple times he was pinged there. But then that night he was over there, or his phone was on airplane mode the night of.
Yeah, he's trying to like shut off his location so that he's not getting pinged in places.
There's a lot of weird things that definitely came up
Because
for sure.
he was, the part that kills me in this, or the part that gives him kind of an edge, is that he was a criminal investigation student.
Yes.
Like, that was his major.
And he was training, I forget the lady's name, but I've actually read one of her books. I'll drop it in when I am editing this, what her name is. But the class he was taking at in Washington at one of the universities there. I think it was in Washington or the Poconos, wherever he was in school for the criminology. The teacher he was being or learning from was this like very well-known lady in like criminology that studied serial killers, has put out numerous books on serial killers and like how their minds work and all of this stuff. Like that's her specialty.
Right.
So he was in her class learning all of this
About
stuff.
all of this.
Yes. Which is crazy.
I was listening to the Crime Junkies podcast this morning, and they said that while he was a student, he put out a survey for like people, an anonymous survey basically asking for people who have committed crimes and either haven't gotten away with it or have gotten away with it. Like, how did you know this is what you were going to do? How did you pick the target? How did you, like, he as a student interviewed all of these, not interviewed, but put out the survey for all of these people to fill this out, to kind of help paint a really good picture on how to pull something off, if you're saying. So people are trying to like spin that back into like he knew how to do this. And the only thing that messed him up, the only thing tying him to the scene is that KBAR sheath.
Yeah, which is crazy. And like it was interesting because in the documentary there was like people like defending the prosecution, people defending like the defense side of the case and like the opposing sides, and like how certain evidence, like, you know, they were saying a lot, like even though they do have that DNA, they call it like touch evidence.
Yeah.
And that can be,
it can be so easily done.
Yes. And transferred and whatever. So it's like, who knows? Right. That type of evidence usually is not as like solid or taken as seriously.
And neither is cell phone ping data, I also found, because it can't give them a specific location as to where that vehicle was. Now, granted, they were able to get surveillance tapes of
the car.
Tapes goes to show how old I am. They did get like a surveillance video from like people's Ring cameras and stuff of the car being in front of that Kingston house.
But like, why was the car there though? If he didn't live anywhere near there.
No.
He lived technically in Washington.
One of the hardest things they're trying to do is they're trying to tie him to those people. Like
they're trying to get the connection of like, did he meet them? Like
at
one
the
theory was the
restaurant.
restaurant. Yes.
Yeah. Because he was vegan and they had a quasi-vegan menu.
Yes.
So, I mean, did he meet them at the restaurant? Did he meet them, you know, they were students at the time. So
yeah, college town, small town, like everybody kind of knew everybody type of vibe is what is how it's portrayed in the show. Right. And, but he is kind of like a weird dude because there were other people that had came forward that had interactions with him at restaurants and other places that he was making women feel very uncomfortable if he got or felt rejected by them. You know what I mean? And a lot of people were, you know, in the show, they were saying that contributes to, or could contribute to his wanting or, you know, need to, you know,
to
unalive, to go after these girls. You know what I mean?
Is like vengeance. How dare you turn me down?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of serial killers or people in that realm, from what I've seen, you know, in different shows or research and stuff like that, they typically do kind of like, if they go after women, it is like that type of vengeance thing. You know, it's because they always have felt like rejected by them or whatever. And so when that happens, it's like a huge trigger in a sense for them.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And maybe that was just the one thing that like sent him over the edge.
But like trying to tie him to the people.
There's no way to do that.
There's no way to do that. And
I wonder how come.
He drove a very basic vehicle.
Yeah.
And in the next state over, you didn't have to have a front license plate.
No.
In order to register your vehicle. So that's why they're like, well, it's just a white Hyundai with no front license plate.
Yeah, not a big deal.
I can't imagine how many other people have that car. Like whenever I see Amber Alerts over the highway and stuff, I always get nervous when it's like
Honda Civic,
silver Honda Accord license plate. I'm like, oh my gosh, I drive one of those, but that ain't my plate.
No.
Yeah.
the whole thing is just kind of crazy to me. I recall like when the case came out, I didn't like follow it super, you know, but I remember seeing it on the news and so forth, and of course on social media. But the whole story is super sad because there is so many unknowns as to like that connection, right? As to what, like, the why. Everybody wants to know the why, right? But I feel like in any sort of like murder type case, most people don't end up finding out the why.
I mean, the fact that he pled guilty to kind of get out of the death penalty and also doesn't have to divulge the details.
He's just like,
is kind of shady. I don't know. Like, it's
I don't
smart.
know.
It's smart. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, he's playing the game. I mean, the whole reason why it's taken this long is because he refused the right to a speedy trial.
yes.
And was like, no, we're going to drag this out. Which is wild to me. Why would you do that if you're not guilty?
Because
but he said he was guilty. That's right.
That's crazy though.
I know.
Because that doesn't happen very often.
No.
In those types of cases. Like, usually what'll happen is it goes to trial and they get, you know, convicted by the jury of the charges. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that they just end up pleading guilty to what they're being accused of.
Right. Well, I mean, they made a deal.
Well, yeah.
Like, I think, what did I write down? He got 4 consecutive life sentences.
Yeah.
And then an extra 10 years for burglary. I cannot say that.
Burglary?
Sure. Burglary?
It's a weird one.
That is a weird one. Burglary.
Yeah, but he has no option for parole or anything like that. So, I mean, he's in there for the rest of his life.
He basically got a death sentence, but he got a death sentence of his, like, useful existence death sentence.
Yeah, you're just going to be in jail.
Yeah.
Unless someone
anywhere else
takes care of him.
Well,
in jail.
yeah, no, I mean, dying in jail doesn't mean by natural causes.
True.
Right?
That's
dying
true.
in
Very true.
Jail
I mean,
can be just
saying.
someone else could have taken him down.
So the victims, the names was Madison, Kaylee, Zaina, and Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other 2 was Dylan and Bethany.
Right. Those were the 2 that shut themselves in their room and was like.
And it was crazy because Bethany's room was on the first floor and Dylan's was on the second floor, I believe. Mm-hmm. And Dylan heard stuff, like heard something going on, came out of her room, like saw the guy.
Like that's where we get the description for
yes.
the bushy eyebrows.
Yeah. You know, tall, slender. And then she just retreats back to her room. And her and Bethany are like texting when this is going on.
Right.
But like, what's crazy to me is if they were in there, and because Madison and Kaylee, I believe, were in the same room, and Zaina and Ethan were in the same room.
Right.
So Perp walks in and sees Maddie and Kaylee on the bed or whatever, right? How is there not any screams that came out or anything heard by Dylan or Bethany?
And on the 911 call, one of the girls had mentioned that they were drinking the night before. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you've ever like slept after drinking, but it's a hard sleep.
Yeah, it is. But
I get it.
If
There's going to be a bunch of commotion if someone's getting stabbed.
If someone's getting stabbed, the guy is not going to be able to stab 2 people at the same time. You know what I mean?
No.
So as someone's getting stabbed, he's already got to be thinking about like, how is he taking care of the other person already?
There's not a lot of details
you know what I mean?
in this case.
I know.
They said that
these are things that I thought of though, like Ethan, as I was watching it,
had defensive wounds. Because Xana was found just inside of her door. Mm-hmm. And then it's like he goes through her and then
he must have
gets to Ethan, right? And then so there's not a lot of details because they also said that Madison had defensive wounds. Mm-hmm. No, I'm sorry, Kaylee did, but there's not a lot of details on Madison's situation. So we don't know whether or not she also had defensive wounds.
Right.
Or if she, like, of course you'd think there'd be a struggle.
Okay, so I wonder why the girl Dylan, she obviously knew that guy was not there as a friendly situation, right? That's why she retreated back to her room. Like at that moment, I wonder why she didn't try to call 911 at that time and be like, I think someone's in our house. The fuck, you know?
I don't know. I mean,
that seems just
that's a
crazy
super
to me.
Traumatizing situation. I can't imagine.
So she
what
goes
I
and
would
she
do,
texts her friend instead of calling 911.
trying to figure out what the F is going
And then
on. So you also have to
Bethany
consider
is
these girls
still-
are like sorority girls. So I
They're
imagine
young
there's people
20s.
coming in and out of that house all the time because this is a house off campus.
Yes.
Right. This is the party house.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm sure that sometimes there may be people coming in and out of that house that they don't
Possibly,
know.
yeah.
So I imagine those two roommates texting each other, trying to figure out just who did you invite so and so over? No. Did you invite so and so over? Okay.
And
because
then
WTF?
Yeah, but then they were also saying that like Maddie and Kaylee weren't answering their phone when they were trying to text and get a hold of them.
Right.
They weren't getting any response. So like to me as a roommate, like no matter how drunk I was, I just feel like there could have possibly been more that could have been done at that time, because if they were awake, she was scrolling TikTok around 4 a.m.
Right.
when the guy was there.
Is that the timeline?
Pretty sure it was between like 4 and 5 a.m. And they didn't even call 911 until the next morning, until like 10 or 11
Right.
in the morning.
Until the outside friends couldn't get a hold of them.
Right. But like that just is, it just seems crazy. Like the girls saw the guy in the house.
It's true. And what did he say? He's like, I'm here to
And-
help you or something like that.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. No matter how drunk you are. I mean, I shouldn't say that, because I guess if you're completely drunk, you just really don't know what is going on.
Nope.
But you can sense like the fear or something is off. Like she obviously knew something was off because she started texting the other girl, the other
Right.
roommate,
And was like, what?
and was just hiding in her room.
Right.
But like, why didn't the dude go into the other rooms and get those two girls?
That's what makes this thing so juicy, is that there's a lot of details. There's a lot of what ifs and whys.
I wonder. Weird.
Yeah.
This is really shitty to say but like, I wonder if those girls had something to do with it. There's a weird theory.
Okay. Explain.
Well, they're the only ones that didn't get unalived in the house, and the girl saw the guy,
I
and
see what
she
you're
was
saying.
like, and he's like, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. Like, I don't know. That just seems weird. That's just something I literally just thought of right now.
So like, what if they're Yeah. No, I can.
Weird stuff happens in girl relationships
All the
you know.
time.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty
I mean-
extreme. However, but there's still no connection between Dylan and Bethany and Brian that they have found that I'm aware of. There are other documentaries on this case though that came out before this one.
Yeah.
I just didn't have time to watch them, but I kind of want to now and see what type of different information is shared.
There's a bunch.
I don't know, man. That's just it's crazy to think about that whole
I know it's a
story.
head scratcher, because you're like, why? That's the whole question. Why?
Yeah,
did
there's
this
a lot
happen?
of there's a lot of different theories. The fact that he pled guilty, and then like there was so many different weird coincidences with him, and you know, his upbringing, and you know, how he was treated by most of his peers growing up in high school and stuff like that. You know, he went through, you know, getting bullied and all of that. They talked about to kind
yeah.
of like paint the picture of like his history a little bit, you know,
Right.
to try to show like that could be related to why he would have, you know, done this, but that still doesn't put the connection to him to any of those people, like specifically.
No, and I can't remember the mass murderer or the serial killer. I can't remember the difference between the two. I'm sorry. Who he idolized, who also did a killing spree
Yeah.
in a college. And so him and he did a lot of research on this dude in being in this field of study he was in. So they're also wondering is he doing this to kind of like relive that whole scenario? Like, is he idolized this guy and want to
Right.
try that out sort of thing? So it's just like random to him and he's just off doing psychopathic things.
I mean,
It's hard. The why is the what everybody wants.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the why.
yeah.
I mean, I want the why. Why?
Yeah. That's all I kept
I
thinking
mean, like
about,
if
too.
one of these 3 very attractive women turned you down,
Yeah.
is that why?
Is it, but like, did the restaurant that the 2 of the girls worked at, did they not have cameras in there? Could they have not looked back through some footage and seen if he had ever been into that restaurant? Because obviously they're not allowed to ask.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
And
all the
if
stuff
there
that
was
I've listened to,
nothing
there
on
was
social
no-
media,
Yeah.
then, the next best thing I could think of would be, to try to place him at the restaurant.
Right. Try and put them in the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way.
Right.
I mean, that's wild, dude.
It's a tough one.
How do you think you would feel like as a family member, if something like that happened and the dude just like pled guilty, and even though
I can understand why they're mad, because they want the why. They want the same thing we want. They just have bigger motives.
And a lot of the family feels that the state of Idaho kind of failed them too, which I don't.
Maybe in a way, I don't know. I mean, it's like there's a lot of points in this where they think that the investigation got so hyper focused on this one guy.
Yeah.
This
That it
one
could have been. That's what I'm
DNA trace of
saying.
evidence that it could have been a ton of other people. Or was it this one guy that we've got a ton of circumstantial evidence for?
Right.
But we can't place him with the girls at all.
No.
Like, just because he's acting shady here and here and here and here. It sounds like he's just a shady dude.
Right. And has other, complaints of women from other interactions and stuff, I mean, yeah, all of that can be pushed and, painted to make it seem like he,
you can
has those
spin
issues.
a narrative.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But like one of the guys said in the show, he's either the luckiest guy in the world, or what did he say? Something like that. The luckiest guy, or he's either guilty and he did it, or he's like the most unluckiest guy in the world, I think is what he said. Something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's very true. The fact that he I don't know, man, there's just so many weird connections, so many different things that could lead to other theories. Like I said, what if those girls knew, whether it was Brian or somebody else that did the deed?
Right.
What if those girls knew, or one of them knew, or whatever, right?
Right.
You don't know, really.
No.
Even though those girls were super cooperative and whatever, and they ended up not being suspects, I'm sure they got interviewed,
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. It's just
Or
crazy.
it could have been some other dude who got slighted by one of these girls on a night out and was like, yo, I don't like this. Panicked. Hit up the girl and her boyfriend first because she opened the door, saw the thing. And then, who knows?
Yeah.
It could be so many things. And then this white Elantra may have nothing to do with it.
Right. Weird.
Yeah. I mean, they were even blaming it on the first kid that walked in and saw and was like, "Oh, call 911. We need to tell. we need to tell people." And I'm like, "Wow, it's got so many layers." But I agree that it's really easy to look at this Brian person and be like, "You really fit in this neat little box that we've made in this case."
Yeah. I feel like this would be a case that would be on Criminal Minds or something like that. That show,
It's a weird one.
But he does fit the profile, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he doesn't look like a very good energy person.
No.
He kind of has dark eyes and not very much light there, and I don't know, other pictures I've seen of killers and so forth, they all kind of have that blank,
this dark deep set look.
Yeah. And he kind of has that vibe,
the no light behind the eyes vibe.
Yeah. And just bleh, death,
Death.
nothing's there, and the freaking selfie he took,
supposedly the day after, or the morning after, hours
in
after,
some bathroom. What bathroom was that? Could they not figure out what kind of bathroom that was, or could they not
There's
pinpoint it to his
speculations
house?
that it was his bathroom, or was it a gym bathroom? But they're like, oh yeah, he went out and he washed up and he made sure that he didn't get any
But they don't know that for sure.
trace evidence, and he had a kill kit and blah blah blah. The reason why the Elantra came back at this time is because, or the Hyundai came back at this time is because he knows he dropped the sheath and was trying to figure out how to get it back. It's like there's so many potholes in this story where it's hard to just
have it fully streamlined.
yeah.
If something like this ever happened to like my family, God, I hope that never does. But like,
Oh man.
I would probably lose my mind, like just fully investing myself and trying to figure it out.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like I would go probably psycho. Like they'd have to put me in a mental institution, probably.
And
They'd be
you'll
like,
still work on it there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's gonna figure it out. But
Well, I mean,
like,
that's tough because you have like, I mean, you're sending your kids off to college. This is one of the parts in your life and their life where you have to grow independently from each other. And all of these parents are like, okay, these kids are safe. You know, Moscow, Idaho is a pretty quiet town.
very safe.
Like, it's just, it is what it is. And like, all of a sudden now this, like, you can't, I wouldn't even be able to begin to imagine. I can only empathize with the situation.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was reading an article after about the case and like him pleading guilty and so forth. And there was like a 2-hour section of like the court, whatever was happening, that was given to like for statements from like family and friends.
Oh, dang.
And
Like a chance for them to speak out.
Yeah. And he had to sit there and listen to all of them. And at the end, they asked him if he wanted to like say anything. And he said, like, no, thank you. And those were like the only words that he spoke the entire time. He sat there for those hours, like listening to all of these people just berating him and, you know, telling him what a POS he is, basically, and all that stuff. And I'm like, how could you not say anything after that? Like, yeah, you pled guilty and gave them like a little bit of satisfaction, but if you're gonna plead guilty to something like that, at least like,
why though? Why do you have to tell them the why?
Why not?
Why?
If you're gonna slap it on the table and say, "All right,
I did
MFers, I plead guilty," you're not gonna say why and give them that satisfaction of like
even a
the biggest fuck you.
No, it was
you know,
even a part of his plea deal to be like, "I'm not telling."
Such a coward thing to do. I feel like, you know,
it's kind of selfish.
Yeah, like. If you're gonna say you did something, at least say the why.
You own up to it.
Yeah, you own like
it kind of helps. It's like, did he really do it? Because does he have a why? Is there really a why? Is he the guy?
Who knows?
Right?
Like, what if he wasn't the guy?
But everybody has painted him as the
so
guy.
So he's just like, F it, I'm just going to plead guilty and I'm nothing to say.
I'm sure that happens more often than we would like to admit.
Oh, I'm definitely sure it does. People, even in that show, and I've heard before, people get misconvicted all the time. All the time, which is crazy and sad. It happened not long ago.
Yeah.
What case was it? I don't remember. It was like a few months ago. There was somebody that got released from jail after like years of being in, and he was not the person.
Not the guy.
Like, and the court's like, I'm sorry, we've taken, 25 years of your life, but you're free to go now.
Just kidding. Good luck with the job. I mean,
could you imagine that?
Scratched forever.
You're in jail for 20 years, and then they're like, oops, we made the biggest mistake.
Our bad.
We got the real guy now.
It wasn't you, it was the other guy.
Good luck.
LOL.
My bad.
Oh, man.
Like, that's fucked up.
That'd be so messed. Because, like, there's
20
no
years
life
is a
after
long
that,
no
right?
20 years
You're
is a
just
long
like, well,
time.
now what do I do?
Yeah. You lost 20 years. They probably went in when there was no social media, came out, and there's all this new techie stuff.
Can you like sue? Probably not.
Probably. There's gotta be some sort of something for that.
Like who are you?
There's gotta be something for that like helps them
help protect you. Yeah.
Or
yeah, that's fair.
Because the court can't just be like
oopsie daisies
and then like send you on your, like, I don't know, maybe they do.
Maybe they do.
Who knows? Like, our justice system,
Maybe
you
you
never
like
know.
sign a thing when you sign yourself in saying that like you can't sue them in the future or some crazy stuff like that.
Maybe. I don't know. I've never been arrested, so I don't know.
Me neither.
That's craziness, though. I'm interested to see now.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try to find some information on that. Do you have any closing thoughts about this interesting case?
No, I just I hope their family gets some sort of peace.
Yeah, I do
out of
too.
This trial.
I do too. They were super young. They all had really good, promising futures. The documentary that we watched really showcased that side of it more so than like the Brian information.
Yeah.
Which I totally get. They
Yeah.
want them to be heard.
And this on the heels of now his trial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am gonna go back and watch one of the other ones and just see kind of how they paint the picture.
Yeah.
And what other information is shared, because I have a lot of questions and they didn't get answered in what I watched.
Yeah. I watched the Peacock special. I watched a 48 hours
I saw that one.
special.
Did that one have any other information?
That one talked to different people. That one talked to like the brother and sister of the triplets.
Interesting.
And kind of talked to more of like the family and how the family reacted when they heard the news and stuff like that. There was a lot more background in that one. And then because like the Peacock special, I think focused a lot more on Brian than the 48 hours ones did, which is good because I mean I get it. They're not trying to like objectify what he did.
Right.
And then again the Crime Junkies podcast, I listened to that as well. And
Yeah.
they had way more details than I think either of the other two episodes.
Crime Junkies is a good one.
They are.
When we would road trip all the time in different places in Florida, Trevor was a Crime Junkies podcast listener.
Yeah.
For the road trips, and I like didn't like it at first. I'm like, ugh, so stupid. I'd rather listen to music,
Right.
But then I got into it.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, it's kind of not bad.
Oh my gosh, no way. Yeah. No, it's
Super fun.
It is.
If you guys like what you heard today, or if you watched this show and you have something you wanted to comment or share, please drop that below. And while you're there, make sure to hit that like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Boop, boop, boop. We are here every Thursday, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Join us in the live chats for the premieres.
Yes.
We do like it when you guys join in. We have some fun conversations, so come
Don't
check it
miss
out. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye.
To wildest dreams. Girl, did you hear that crazy thing?